If you ever find yourself standing alone on the south rim of the Grand Canyon, just after the sun slips below the horizon, there's a moment, a breath, where everything feels impossibly still. The air doesn't move, the canyon walls fade into deep violet, and the wind that's been whispering all day suddenly stops. And that's when some people say it happens. Out in the distance, between the shadows stretching across the cliffs, something moves. Not like an animal, not like the shifting light. It's slower, heavier, deliberate. Hikers have caught glimpses of it. Rangers have brushed it off. And yet every year someone swears they've seen it. A dark shape gliding across the rocks, where no one should be walking. Maybe it's a trick of the light. Maybe it's a story that's gotten out of hand. Or maybe there's something about this canyon, something ancient, that still moves when the world goes quiet. Tonight we're heading to the South Rim to find out what really hides in those shadows. Over the years, strange stories have drifted out of the South Rim. Quiet rumors that never make the park brochures. Hikers talk about shapes moving along the cliff's edge when there shouldn't be anyone there. Rangers dismiss it as shadows or tricks of the moonlight, but some of them don't sound so sure. One evening in late September, a couple from Flagstaff was walking back from Hopi Point. The trail was empty. No one behind them, no lights, just the crunch of gravel underfoot. Then the woman saw something move on the next ridge over. She said it looked like a person, tall, still, standing where the cliff drops off nearly 1,000 feet. When she pointed it out, it was gone. No flashlight, no sound, nothing. They reported it the next morning. Rangers checked the spot, found no footprints, no loose rock, no sign anyone had been there. They said maybe it was a shadow from a passing cloud, but that night was cloudless. Another story, a park volunteer who was locking up the visitor center after closing swore he saw a figure pacing the rim, moving against the wind. He called out, but the figure didn't stop. It just slid out of sight behind a boulder. When he checked, there was no one there. These stories repeat every few years, same descriptions, same locations. No faces, no sound, just movement where there shouldn't be any. Some say it's a trick of the eyes. Others think it's something older, something that watches but never wants to be found. Okay, so maybe it's not something supernatural. Let's think about what could actually cause these moving shadows. The Grand Canyon plays tricks on your senses in ways few places on Earth can. It's not just the light, it's the air itself. Scientists call it an optical layering effect, warm air from the canyon floor colliding with the cooler air above. When that happens, light bends. It shifts just slightly, and the shadows cast by cliffs can appear to move even when nothing's there. It's the same science behind desert mirages, the illusion that makes distant heat shimmer like water. And here's the thing. On the South Rim, those temperature layers can change by almost 20 degrees between day and night. That's more than enough to create moving bands of light that sweep across the canyon walls. To your eyes, it looks like something gliding across the rock, but it's just physics playing tricks. There's also sound, or what scientists call infrasound. The Grand Canyon's shape funnels wind through narrow passages, creating deep, low vibrations below the range of human hearing. You don't consciously hear them, but your body feels them. Studies show these frequencies can cause unease, anxiety, even the sense of being watched. It's the same reason some haunted places feel heavier than others. Not ghosts, but pressure waves. And then there's the psychological side. When light fades and depth disappears, your brain starts to fill in the blanks. It's called pareidolia, the instinct to see patterns, faces, or figures in the unknown. It's the same reason you see shapes in clouds or faces in tree bark. Only here, surrounded by miles of shadow and silence, your imagination has a lot more room to run. So, could that explain the stories? Maybe. Every theory fits. The physics, the wind, the mind itself. But somehow, even when you understand all the science, the mystery doesn't really go away. Because every few years, another witness steps forward and swears what they saw wasn't a trick of the light. Long before the park signs, the paved roads, and the lookout points, this canyon already had stories. The Havasupai people, who have lived in and around these cliffs for centuries, speak of the canyon as a living being. To them, it isn't just rock and river, it's sacred ground, a place that breathes and remembers. They tell of spirits who guard the canyon, watchers, not ghosts, protectors of balance between the land and those who walk it. According to legend, the watchers appear as moving shadows near the rim, especially when the canyon falls silent. Not to harm, but to remind. To warn those who wander too close or forget to show respect to the place beneath their feet. Even park rangers who've worked here for decades will admit there's a feeling you can't quite explain. They talk about certain stretches of trail where radios cut out, or sudden cold drafts that vanish as quickly as they come. None of it makes sense on paper, but everyone feels it. And maybe that's the thing. Science can tell us what light does, what sound does, what the human brain does. But stories like these remind us that not everything we sense is meant to be measured. Sometimes, the canyon's shadows are more than just the absence of light. Their memory, their presence, their history, still watching from the walls. For every story about something moving in the canyon's shadows, there's a ranger or researcher ready with a folder full of data. That's what keeps this mystery interesting. The evidence never quite matches the emotion. A few years back, a tourist's video went viral. You can see a dark form sliding across the cliffs at dusk, smooth, steady, unnerving. But when geologists analyzed the footage, they found it was a cloud shadow thrown across the opposite wall by the setting sun. Perfect timing, perfect angle, perfect illusion. Another photo, taken near Desert Viewpoint, showed what looked like a human silhouette on a ledge that doesn't exist. High-resolution analysis revealed a thin ridge of rock catching just enough light to look like a figure. Our brains connect those shapes automatically. Pattern recognition, the same instinct that lets us see a face in a plug socket or an animal in a cloud. Even the sudden temperature drops that visitors describe aren't supernatural. They're what meteorologists call katabatic winds, cold air sliding down canyon walls after sunset. They can make your skin prickle, your breath shorten, your heart race for no reason. Fear follows the body, not the other way around. But here's where it gets strange. Every time a story gets explained, another one replaces it. Another sighting, another shape, another witness who insists they saw something science can't quite pin down. And maybe that's the real power of this place. The facts end long before the feeling does. The more I read, the more I listen to these stories, the more I realize maybe the mystery was never about what moves in the shadows, but about why we keep looking for it. Every person who stood on the South Rim knows the feeling. That quiet weight pressing against you. The sense that something vast is breathing just beyond sight. You can't name it. You can't capture it. You just feel it. Science explains a lot. The light, the wind, the sound. But it doesn't explain that shiver that runs down your spine when the canyon goes still. It doesn't explain why thousands of people swear they've seen something they can't describe, or why the silence here feels alive. Maybe that's the point. The Grand Canyon has been watching long before any of us were here. We measure its walls and map its trails, but it still keeps its own secrets. Maybe the shadow that moves isn't something out there at all. Maybe it's the part of us that still wants to believe there's more to the world than what we can prove. And if you ever find yourself out there, just as the last light fades, don't look for the shadow. Just listen. The canyon always answers, just not in ways we understand. So what do you think? Is it just the wind, the light, and the canyon playing tricks? Or is there something else that moves when no one's watching? I'd love to hear what you believe. Have you ever been to the South Rim? Did you feel that same stillness, that strange, heavy calm when night fell? Share your thoughts below. I read them all. And if you enjoy stories like this, stick around, because next time we're heading even deeper, down into a cave the rangers don't like to talk about, where the shadows aren't the only thing that moves. Until then, keep your eyes open and your light steady.